Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the Himalayas, where I'm going to take you on a journey to the roof of India. So sit back, relax, and come along for the ride. So we flew in from the UK, we landed in Delhi. We got a second flight to Chandigarh. Now we're here in Kufri after a 7-hour taxi ride. In the background behind me you can see the mountain mist. The weather can change here at any time. Just 2 weeks ago the Himalayas had the worst weather for decades. Check out this news report.
Extreme weather events.
So anything can happen. We've got to be prepared to turn back. We've got to be prepared for the worst. So we've got all the bikes here now. Everybody's getting prepped for the ride. We've got approximately 20 riders, about 3 support staff and a support truck to take our luggage onto the next destination. But everybody's getting kitted up and getting on their Royal Enfield Himalayan. So today's ride, it's considered day 2. We got here yesterday, we didn't ride. This is the first ride. This is the ride to JEORI. We're at 8,850 feet, 135 kilometers. Doesn't sound a lot, but with these roads it can be absolutely treacherous. Like I said, the weather can change any minute, so you've got to be prepared for the worst. So let's get on the bike, let's get kitted up, and let's get going. So I don't know if you can see the mist coming off the mountain. Like I said, that's just happened in the last 60 seconds. Everybody's getting geared up, everybody's getting ready. Right, so here we go. We've got Alex here and his wife who lead this trip called Nomadic Nights. Everybody's ready, everybody's testing the horns. That is one of the most important things on this bike. Okay, and we're off. So today is all about getting used to riding the bikes. I mean, you can see the conditions of the road as we leave the hotel. You know, huge potholes. These bikes do feel very alien when you first get on them. So all these bikes have been well prepared and well serviced. These are some of the most dangerous roads we'll ever experience in India. The traffic here, like the taxi ride here, was horrendous at times, and that's how they drive here, and you've got to learn to ride how they drive. So the one thing you have to do in India is make sure you get on that horn. You use it all the time in all situations. I mean, luckily for us, they kind of ride on the left, but that means nothing in India. I've got my buddy here today as well, Phil. I'm not sure that's going to work in India, but we'll find out. Doesn't sound a lot, 135 kilometers, but it is 4 to 5 hours. The weather can change very quickly, and you can find yourself having to sort of double back. I did get a little ride on one of these bikes, if you've been following my channel, at the ABR festival this year, and it was a little bit different to anything I know. So the bikes are Indian built, we're in the Himalayas, and we're riding the Royal Enfield Himalayan. So whereas the horn is used in a way of anger in the UK, here it's a lifesaver. So just 5k into the trip, and there's just massive potholes everywhere. You've really got to stay sharp with your riding. Also remember, a lot of loose gravel, so you've got to kind of go easy on the brakes, keep your distance. There's a lot of lorries here and a lot of diesel spills as well, so again, keeping your eye out for things like that. The other thing you've got to stay sharp about on this trip, animals. Dogs are just everywhere. They will just literally cross out in front of you, and as well as the sacred cow, the holy cow, you do not want to be hitting one of them. We're going to see some interesting things on this trip, and we've got some spectacular views, so I hope you enjoy this as much as me. As soon as you set off, you get some spectacular views, but to be honest, with the traffic at the minute, it's just a case of getting out the town here and getting on them better, quieter roads. Already I've got a car behind me trying to overtake me. They overtake on the blind bends, trying to do the overtake. You just overtake on the blind corners and you just got to go for it. So we're just pulling in for the first fuel stop. This is where we've got to be a bit careful pulling off the road. We've kind of got to line up in 2s and 3s, keep compact. Some people have been on this trip before, and there's quite a few that haven't. So we've just got everybody pulling in now. Just going to get the bikes fueled up. So yeah, the temperature is starting to rise now because we're actually coming down on altitude. So we're just at a bridge at the minute, just waiting for the traffic to clear. And we're off. We're only 10k into this ride and already pretty technical. We've got to watch out for these lorries because they just don't like to stop. You can see with these big trucks, they don't take no prisoners. It's just absolute chaos. The traffic is backing up behind us now. There's people trying to cross, there's dogs everywhere, there's buses. This must be some kind of bus station, I think. There's people trying to sell sort of stuff in between the traffic jams. This is India. I mean, we've got to be careful. As bikers in India, we are bottom of the food chain. They are the poor man's choice of transport. So the team of Nomadic Knights have got the aluminous bibs on here, and here's one of them now. Look, this is what happens. They cover all the exits, so we can't get lost technically, although they have lost people over the years. The people that know me know I'm really bad at getting lost, and out here sometimes you can't get a phone signal. It's going to be like a case of, if you get lost, it's the old-fashioned map and find somebody that can point you in the right direction. You've really got to judge it right on these bikes, you know. They've not got a lot of power, so you know, when you go for the overtake, you've got to remember that. And already I can feel the temperature changing. Every now and then you get like a cool mist running through your jacket, which at the minute my new Rucker Explorer R jacket has 16 vents, and they are great for that airflow. So I've literally got monkeys at the side of the road. We've got cows at the side of the road. There's a series of speed bumps as well, so it's worth keeping a bit of distance between the next vehicle because they come up rather quick. They're not really very well marked out, and you could quite easily bottom these bikes out. I mean, they had over 700 avalanches out here a couple of weeks ago, and we'll probably see a lot of the reminiscence of that. I would have done the overtake by now, but you've really got to kind of pick your line. Because you get things like this coming across, big trucks, big potholes again. You can see as we're starting to climb the mountain a little bit, the skies have changed. You know, when you ride in the UK, generally the bikers will get their kind of the right of way. Here, you don't. You just let the other vehicles pass through. So you can see this massive rockfall here from the, this is what's kind of happened a couple of weeks ago with the weather being really bad. So So it's nice when you get a stretch of road like this. It's gone a little bit cooler and we're getting on. All these roads are twisty, the mountain roads. Watch out for all the loose gravel. There's a lot of construction going off up in the Himalayas. Everywhere you look, there's all the landslides going in, there's machinery everywhere. Like I say, these cows are just everywhere. We've not had no rain yet, but I'm sure at some point, looking up into them hills, we might just get a little drop. So I nearly come a crop about there. There was a bit of surface road that was just kind of like about a foot up, and I kind of hit it and lost control, managed to stay on the bike, but that's kind of like my first near miss there. There's one of the riders back there just relieving himself of some fluid. I mean, this is the thing with this ride, you know, you've got probably 19 bikers and three staff there, all on bikes, and sometimes you don't even see them because you get so stuck behind all the traffic and you've got to do multiple lorry overtakes. But it is nice when you get on a section of road like this and you can just flow and enjoy the ride. One thing I don't like is when they park these bikes up and it's getting the side stand down. You've really got to think about where you park up. I'm not sure I've actually seen fourth gear yet. So we've just stopped for a cup of chai, which is Indian for tea, and I've got to say it does taste pretty good. We're going to get some snacks, just a short stop I think, and then we'll get back on this journey. Like I said, with the way these roads work, that you can't get up to much speed. The amount of cattle, the amount of traffic, the amount of potholes. Got myself a packet of crisps and the bag is so inflated. That's what you get for buying crisps at altitude. These little houses in the distance. The guys here are part of the support team that are part of Nomadic Nights. I was just looking at the support truck. So this takes all your luggage and all the heavy stuff. You just carry on your bike what you actually need in these panniers and the tank bag. So you can see there's some construction going off here, which means we've got a gravel road, reduced the speed down. There's a river to the left of me which you can't quite see, but it's a fast flowing river. So just pulled over to have a look at this fast flowing river. That looks pretty magnificent from here. I think this flows from China. So we've got some water on the road now. Everybody's stopping to put their waterproofs on. I don't need to. Why? Because this is a triple layered Gore-Tex Pro laminated jacket and trousers, which is fully waterproof. Okay, we've got the police here. We've been told to stop. Not quite sure why. Well, I can say we're not going to miss you in that. You look like my dad. Safety first. So yeah, the police officer at the front there is just pulling everybody over. I'm not quite sure why. Probably on camera it doesn't look that nice, but the humidity is quite high, isn't it? Yeah. I think the reason they stopped the traffic was because they saw Phil coming, and it was a danger to the other drivers. Clutch control, back brake, and just roll down. You can see all the rocks. This is all from the landslides that they've had. So yeah, you can see this bit of section here. This is where they've been just trying to clear the landslides. They've got the diggers in. You can see the devastation over there where it's took out the barrier. So there's a possibility this has just happened minutes before we got here. So looking up there, any of this could go at any second. Right, it looks like it's about cleared, probably 20 minutes later, but you know what, there's such a chilled nation that they're just taking the stride. I guess living in the Himalayas, this thing's probably going to happen all the time. So we're getting close now to the digs. So one of the team members just waved us on. Some beautiful houses and buildings here. Like I say, I think this place is pronounced JEORI. Sometimes how they're spelt and how they're pronounced, or that's the English way they said it was, so I'll go with that, the easier option. And I've got to say, the Royal Enfield bike has performed very, very well. I mean, look at that for a view in front. I don't know if you can see, it's gone quite dark now, but that looks pretty spectacular. What's we've got now? We've got horses. This is where your motocross skills come in JEORI riding. Wow, that was close. That was Phil's near miss of the day. I think everybody's had one. I think I've actually had two. Wow. A nice big deep wet puddle to end the day off. And here we go. Ah, well, this looks nice. Doesn't look like we're roughing it tonight, that's for sure. So after 5 hours on the bike and 135 kilometres, it was nice to get checked into this hotel behind me and go and get a nice shower, a bite to eat and a nice cold beer. The mechanics in the background there, they'll be working through the night to get these bikes ready and repaired for the next ride. Oh, you would not want to be going off there. I mean, look at these trees and everything that's been uprooted. I bet that water's ice cold. Now that's what you call a view.